Okay, let's do this. We will always have the same procedure. Normally there's a text in the description how to watch this video, because sometimes I will put the clip into the video and sometimes I will put the clip the link below so you can watch it and then come back. And for this video you have to stop now, watch the other clip, and then we'll talk about it. Let's go. Okay, you have seen a 20 minutes commentary from ABBA and Breach. They've watched a show called Moment of Truth, which is, I think, cancelled now. It's from the 90s or something like this. You see a woman and she answered some questions about her marriage, about her life before the show started, and they put her on a lie detector or something like this, whatever they used back then. And then her husband and her family sits in the show, and for every right answer, for every truthful answer, she gets money, and when she's lying, she loses everything. And they start with easy questions. Everything is a little bit funny and it's cool, and then it gets intense and intense and intense. And she didn't want to marry her husband. She cheated on him. She wants to be together with her ex-boyfriend and so on. And it's really hard to watch because you can see how her husband reacts to all these new facts and something. And it's really hard to watch. We need some assumption to make an ethical judgment. We have some axioms, some assumptions we just need to make a good moral judgment. So I will prove those assumptions to you if I can. I don't know if I can prove all of them, but we will do this in later videos. The first assumption is there's good and evil. To make a moral judgment, we need good and evil. We need to say this is okay, this is not okay. It's fine that there's some gray area between, but we need those categories. And then there's also, this would be number 2, there is good and bad behavior. People are social creatures. This is important because you could argue, okay, in this clip, why does he need a wife? So why are we lying? We could just live. Sometimes students argue like this, yeah, but I don't need people in my life. No, people are social creatures. And what we do, we communicate with each other. And the way we communicate with each other is important. So, why? Why do we need to communicate with each other? Why are we social creatures? Why is this stuff important for us? This has an evolutionary basis. Animals communicate with each other, for example, when they're hunting. They're apes and human beings, we communicate and we coordinate our team, our group, to be more effective hunters. So communication is key to survival. So there's an evolutionary basis. The people who could communicate better survived. So we're dependent on communication. And when people are bad in communication, we don't like them. If somebody is a little bit awkward or something like this, we say we don't want to talk to them. We don't want to interact with them because they make us feel uneasy. This is a normal thing. And so the communication is, if somebody in my group is telling me there's a danger, there's a tiger is coming, and he's saying there's a tiger, I need to rely on this person. It's so important for me because I could die. And people who weren't telling the truth and people who weren't acting on the tiger, they died. So evolutionary, only those people survived who were honest and who were communicating with each other. So our group is so important for us. It's normally so we think in people as one person, another person, but actually we are one group and then we are individuals inside these groups. So you can see in this clip, and I think it's an important clip, I will focus only on one aspect, on the lying. There are other aspects we will talk about, I think, in the next clip. But first, the lying is a problem because we look at his perspective. He is thinking he's married, or he's actually married, but he thinks he has a partner who loves him, who is supporting him. And this is part of his group, his identity. I love the quote from Jordan Peterson, who tells, what is more part of you, your arm or your child? And he's arguing because people would normally sacrifice their arm for their child. And it's the same thing with your partner. Your partner is a part of you, like a body part. You need your partner. You can be single, but then you have normally close friends. You need those people around you to navigate through the world. And he is like this. He's thinking, okay, when he's doing something at work, I think he's a policeman, he's having a shift, he's always the person who's married, who has a wife. There's such a lot of information, there's so many assumptions he has in his life. And the moment he gets that his wife is cheating on him, this whole thing is collapsing. It is destroying him because everything he has done is now questionable. Everything he was doing can't exist anymore because his existence is at threat. So if you look at people and you think you are a separate unit, you are a separate unit, you are a separate unit, then it's really easy to confuse it and say, okay, now you're lying, okay, fuck it, we're getting a divorce. But it's not like this. You're not a single unit, you're one close thing. Your wife is a part of you, and this part of you is now breaking up, and then you don't know who you are anymore. And so his whole history, his whole past is under attack. I think it's the right word for it. And this is the problem with lying for him. He's getting into an existential crisis, and there's no way around it. Because, again, every acting his whole acting in the world is depending on his definition of himself, and his definition of himself is is depending on his wife, on his close intimate relationships. And you can get this when people get socially isolated, or when there's a severe trauma, somebody is dying, this is severe trauma, somebody is cheating on somebody. This is really dangerous for people. The suicide rate goes up, and so on and so on. So the lying is actually hurting him in his identity. So why shouldn't she lie? What is the problem? What is the problem with lying for her? Now you can say, okay, for him, it's the partner who's hearing the lie is in danger. Okay, but what about a partner who's lying? This is a psychological problem, because when you're lying, normally you see the world and you're having an experience. I'm going to my car, I'm driving around the block, and then I was driving. But now somebody is asking me, what have you done the last hour? And then now I'm saying, okay, I was riding my bike. So now you could say, okay, this is not a problem. We're cognitive creatures. We can think. I can think about a lie. I can think, okay, I was riding a bike. It's an idea I can have. And now I communicated it. But the first thing I have to do is I have to watch you closely if you're buying my lie. So I need more energy to lie. I need energy to keep a lie alive. But more importantly, my brain now got mixed up information, and you think, how hard can it be? I lied, I think. What about tomorrow? What about in a week? It's not easy to remember something that's 1 week ago. You can try it. Write down last Monday. It's not that easy. What have you eaten? And so on and so on. And to this normal problem about remembering, you're now putting two different sets of options. The car ride and the riding the bicycle, they're now there. And one thing I was feeling, I was inside the situation. The other one I was constructing it so real that I can communicate it to somebody else that I think it was true. In the moment you're telling the lie, you have to think about it like it's the truth. And now I have two different truths inside me. And so my personality is getting in two ways. That's not a good thing. And you have to be really, really careful about stuff like this. Because when you're normally thinking, your mind is producing ideas. But it's not just randomly producing ideas. It's producing ideas on basis of everything you have experienced. So you have a unique perspective on the world, but only if you're truthful with yourself. The moment you have two different sets of experiences, and you do this a lot, you have this set to these two difference and to these two and so on and so on. How will you think? You don't know what is real anymore. So you're fucking up your mind, actually. You're really destroying your own unique perspective of the world. And this is, I think, something you should think about. The other problem is there's always the risk. So your nervous system needs to be more on alert when you're lying. You need to be, okay, what is happening? Is somebody getting a sense that I'm lying? So you're more stressed. And it's not a good thing, because life is hard enough as it is. Now you're lying, you're making it even harder. It's okay to make mistakes. When children learn words, they think, this is a tree, and then you say, no, this is not a tree, this is a cat. And the child is laughing, a cat, and then it's learning this is a cat. This is a different thing. Being wrong is not the same as consciously making the decision to distort the truth. So we're not built, biological, we're not built to lie. And it will have a cost, and the cost may be, it may be something not that problematic. You're just a little bit stressed at the end of the day. Your normal thinking isn't that clear, but when you think longer and longer, you will get to the same conclusion. You just need more time, but it will add up. And normally, if people are lying, they get used to it. You lie, you're successful, you have this, this would be an awkward situation, I lied, everything is better. You make a learning experience. You're not only distorting your mind, you also make the experience, lying isn't that bad, and then you lie again and again, and it will make you another person. So I wanted to start with this example. I just watched it some days ago, but I also wanted to start with this example because it's something you make the decision every day. Do you want to stick to the truth, or do you want to lie? And now you can say, okay, I know there's danger in it. People normally know it. They're not sure what is the danger, but they know it. And now you can make the decision, okay, I won't lie. And it's not easy. You will see yourself, and you will say it a little bit more in the direction of that, and a little bit more like that, and so on and so on. Try it. Try to say the truth, and really think about it. Think about not the short term. Not, okay, now I'm lying, and then I don't have trouble with my friend. Think, okay, now I'm lying. What will happen if I do this behavior the next 2 years? What kind of person will I be when I'm repeating this kind of behavior? And I think if people really think about this problem, they will come to the point, okay, it's really, really dangerous. I should not lie. So this would be our first moral principle, our first law. Do not lie to your partner. Do not lie to your close ones.